Check out this. Ooh, it's a thing. What happens if oh, make it not real. Oh, no, no, wait, make it real. Oh, not real. Oh, oh. What up, Internet? Welcome back to Android Development for Beginners in 2020. For beginners in 2020. All right, so we're just going to go and jump right into it. This is going to be a very simple program, and the goal here is to have two activities, in other words, two screens. On the first screen, we will select an object that we will be passing into our second screen or second activity. So in the process of that, we're going to be covering where we're going to be putting code, a very, very simple basic layout, and how to handle the design of the UI. Great, so here we go. The first thing we're going to do is notice that we have two screens here. We have a main activity and an activity underbar main.xml. The Java is where we're going to be writing most of our functionality code, whereas the XML is going to be where we handle mostly the appearance. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're just going to go ahead and jump in and we're going to create a new class before we start coding anywhere else. So what we're just going to call this class, we're going to call it thing. It's going to be our object class. Great, so let's declare some variables. Declare variables. We're going to declare a string called name. We're going to declare a string called reality. And we're going to declare a Boolean primitive type. And we're going to call this is this realio. After that, we're going to be implementing some methods here, or maybe one method actually. This is where we're going to define the parameters of our object class here. So it's going to take a string name and this realio, this dot name equals name, this dot is this realio is this realio. This is a code that we're going to be using to create an object outside of this Java class right here. Then we're going to have something called getters. Getters. Public string. One of the nice things about Android Studio is the autocomplete. It is really, really good and very helpful sometimes and can put in big blocks of code for you so you don't need to type it out. Definitely pay attention to autocomplete and what it's doing. Probably has a good idea of what you're trying to do. So a getter is what we're going to be using to get information from our object. When we call this method on an object, we can get the name of it without having to hard code it. So it's just going to return the name. We're going to have another one for get string get reality, and it will return reality. And also a Boolean getter, get is this realio. Autocomplete didn't like me for that. Return this realio. So once again, those are just going to return the information so that I can use it dynamically without having to hard code. Next, I'm going to declare a setter. At some point in my code, I might want to set the parameters of one of these variables. Use the set reality, actually, in this case. And when we use that setter, we're going to require that it takes a string. And we'll just say reality equals s. And finally, we're going to have a toggle. This is what is going to be available on the user's end so that they can manipulate the data. Toggle is this realio. This realio is going to be assigned not is this realio. Great, so that's pretty much it for our object class here. We can see everything's grayed out. That's because we are not using these methods yet. Once we implement these methods in our code, whether it's the main activity or another activity, they will then turn yellow. That's kind of another nice thing about Android Studio is the color coding. All right, so now that we finish up with our object class, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the UI and cover that. So there are three things right off the bat that you need to be aware of: the code tab, split tab, and design tab. Code is where we're going to see, well, code. Split, we can see both. Maximize the screen size. This is kind of nice, so when you're playing with the code and moving things around, you can see exactly what's happening. And also, if you click in text view, Android is showing you this is a text view in question. The white screen is what the user sees, and the blue screen shows you exactly how it's formatted with the box around it. Finally, the design tab. This is a very, very nice tab to use. So I recommend playing with the design tab and then just flipping back to split and seeing how the code changes, and that will help you learn the code faster. So let's start with the design tab. First thing we want to do is we want to delete the text view, actually. So we're just going to delete that. And if you didn't want to highlight the code and worry about all that, you can actually just right click, delete on the text view, and see it's already gone. Android Studio handles everything for you there. So we have a constraint layout. We're just going to leave that there, and we're going to go into linear layout. We're going to vertical linear layout, and then we're going to put inside of that, we're going to put card right here, card view. Drop that in the linear layout, and oops, there we go. This operation requires the library Android X.CardView, yada yada yada. Would you like to add this now? Yes, I would. And we can see Gradle project sync in progress and Gradle sync finished. We can see the bottom left corner here. Great. So then inside of the card view, we're going to have another linear layout, vertical, and then we also have text view and image view. And we're going to select an avatar. It's kind of like a mock-up image. Great. So there we go. This is supposed to be a card, actually. So let's go to split screen here and have a look at the card. Beginning with the constraint layout is set to match parent, which means the screen size. Linear layout is also set to match parent, and card view is also set to match parent. And we actually don't want the card view to be set to match parent. I want the card view to be maybe 200 dp by 100 dp. I also want it centered, so how about layout gravity center? Ooh, that's nice. Great. And also, I don't like how I can't see the text here. See here, the layout width is match parent. Why don't we change that to wrap content? Oh, that's not centered either. So maybe to do layout gravity center. There we go. Text view. We don't see the text view here. So one way to fix that is just by dragging the image view under the text view. And there's the text view. We can see it now. And we can see the text is not centered, so we can go ahead and just center that really quick. Oh, actually, no, we can see here in the format box that it already is centered. We're going to change the width to wrap content. Yeah, gravity center. Boom. Done. There's a bunch of other stuff you can play with. I recommend you diving into the design tab and just playing with stuff, tabbing back and forth between the code, design, and learning how things work. Alright, so this seems like a good time to take a break. In the next video, we'll finish up main, compile our code, run the emulator, and then we'll see how far we can get from there. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Please do show some support if you like the content, and I will see you in the next video.